Hello, this is Kathy Schreckenthaler of Kathy's Creative Impressions, and I am here tonight to share with you my October Holiday Cards to Go class. We are going to be making two each of 4 beautiful card designs, and one is an autumn themed and one is with the Holly Jolly bundle, and 2 of them are with the Modern Christmas suite. So we have kits that went out this week, and I hope those of you who ordered it enjoyed my little treats. I included a little Ghirardelli holder with some of the Autumn Toile paper, and that was, I think that was a Julie DiMatteo little design, so that was fun. You can look that up on the Paper Pixie. And I included a little cosmetic bag. I am finding these are super handy in my purse just to catch all those little lip gloss, hand lotions, hand sanitizer, nail file or clippers, all those little things that get lost in the bottom of my purse. So I always like to send some fun little things along, and those were this month's treats. A couple things before we get started as people join in. Please, hi Lisa. It's my new sweatshirt from, we had a girls' night out event in October celebrating or supporting breast cancer awareness. So we had a little shopping night and dinner, and this is from Waggle, which is a golf shop. So this is my new little sweatshirt. I have my my little, oh, glad you love the bag. Thanks, sweetie. I have my plaid fleece jammy pants on from our get together last winter, and I'm just feeling all warm and snuggly, ready to make some holiday cards. I do want to bring up that there is this beautiful advent calendar, 12 Days of Christmas. I think some of these are still available. You may be seeing on people's reels and videos little reveals of the 12 different it's not seen anywhere else. Craft supplies. There are dies, a double stamp set. There are designer paper, things you can craft with all year long. So if you're looking for a gift for some crafty friends, this might be a lovely gift. And don't forget today and tomorrow. Tomorrow ends the amazing starter kit special. I have 4 new team members. I am so grateful that they chose me for their upline and took advantage of the amazing starter kit special. So, hey, shout out to your friends. Let them know that for $35, they can become a Stampin' Up demonstrator and get all the perks of 20% off on their future purchases, an incredible crafting community. They can sign up for On Stage in March in Long Beach, California. I hope that we are close to getting some tickets booked for that exciting event. Say hey when you join. Let us know who's watching. We're going to be making some holiday cards tonight. So yeah, don't miss that starter kit special. Ends at 11:59 Mountain Time tomorrow. For either $35 or $99, you get an amazing starter kit, completely customized to what you pick. For $35, you pick $125 worth of products, and you get a free paper pumpkin and free shipping and free business catalogs and the whole 9 yards. And if you have a really long wish list, then you can pay $99 to become a demonstrator and choose $189 worth of products in your starter kit, plus the free shipping and the free paper pumpkin and catalogs and everything. So don't miss out on that. If you've been thinking that you want to place an order, just become a demonstrator. And then for like 1 full quarter plus the rest of this quarter, you will get all the benefits. And just poke me if you want to know what some of those benefits are. Let's get started. I did send out a supply list. So hopefully you've got lots of adhesives, glue dots, dimensionals, liquid glue, Seal Plus, tape runner, Stampin' Blocks. Let's see, I have my Cajun Craze, Shaded Spruce, an Early Espresso, and Pecan Pie just in case. Ink pads and embossing. I'm not sure I have my embossing. Hey, Jazz. Great that you could join and take a peek at what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be starting with a beautiful autumn card. I think this is going to be fun for sending out for Thanksgiving, and it uses the Autumn Toile Designer Series paper and part of the Paper Pumpkin add-ons that are available for people who subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. We have a little of the embossing folder, a lot of little cutouts. So we are going to get started in putting that together. So I am going to do this very awkward thing of trying to turn my camera down. I have to yakety yak just a minute more because I have to get the event up on my computer and turn my computer volume down or off so I don't get an echo. And then I can make sure, hey, I see myself, that's a good start, that I can see what you're seeing on the camera and your comments. So, okay, I see the top of my head here. Ooh. All right, wow, that's super close up. I'm gonna turn you down, and since, yeah, Facebook Live took away all the controls, I'm gonna do the awkward, awkward swing down so that my camera is facing down. All right, here we go. And then I need to take just a moment to see exactly where that landed on my desktop. I'm gonna put this little piece of, so you saw my jammies, sorry, scrap paper here. And well, I guess I don't need the scrap paper yet. Maybe I'll bring the first kit out. All right, so I'm gonna angle it a little bit more this way and take out all the ingredients here. So this is what you get when you order cards in the mail. The ladies came Tuesday night. We had so much fun making these cards in my kitchen. We do have a little twine, we have an insert for the card, and then we've got all the goodies. They cut their own. I'm also gonna pull out my fine tip liquid glue and my glue dots. Let me know if the volume is doing okay. Hi, Michelle. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm so excited that there's so many friends here watching tonight. All right, so that looks halfway decent for being able to see what's going on. I'm holding my envelope up to the light to make sure there's no little goodies lost inside. And then, I don't know if you guys get Paper Pumpkin. I do, and I always have extra glue dots and dimensionals, so that's quite a savings because I have my glue dots here too, you know, but I use the ones from Paper Pumpkin all the time, and my Take Your Pick tool, which is super handy for grabbing all kinds of things. All right, so I'm going to kind of sweep everything off here, and we are going to start. I guess I'll do everything upside down. Now, I did use the Paper Pumpkin add-on die to cut out this circle from the mat, and that is going to be hidden, so nobody but you and I and anybody watching will know that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add here the pretty designer series paper. Isn't that a pretty fall scene there with the corn in the field and the pumpkins on the vine? And I'm just going to center that with about 1/8 of an inch on all the sides so you can see the mat. And then a little below the center, I am going to glue on this little belly band, just kind of a little anchor, and it goes from one end of the mat to the other. And since the card base is Cajun Craze, then it kind of just anchors it down. So I guess I don't see any reason why we can't go ahead and adhere that down at this point. I'm not tying any twine around tonight. Sometimes I forget that step and then I anchor it down. And Jasmine says that the volume is perfect. Jasmine, I am still waiting for you to get a girls' night out and come to one of my classes so you can get crafty, girl. I know you love sending cards to people. You are so sweet and thoughtful. All right, then we're going to take our liquid glue or fine tip glue pen and just put a little dots of glue on the back of the hello. Now this is right out of the, let's see, September, October, so probably July, August, September Paper Pumpkin Quarterly. They have some pretty little add-on dies that coordinate with 3 months of the Paper Pumpkin kits. And that didn't land exactly where I wanted it to. My H is a little hanging off there, but that's okay because it's going to be anchored here. So I'm putting that directly on the brown, the early espresso circle. And then I am going to pop that up on dimensionals. I have a couple of stray dimensionals, like this was the very last one on this sheet that I am going to make sure I use up. And then there was this one from a random Paper Pumpkin sheet floating around my desk. That on there. Could have cut that one in half, but oh well. All right, so we're going to put this a little bit over to the right side of the card. And I don't know, you can kind of see if you don't want to cover something up, you can have that help you decide where you want to put it. And then we have all these fun little, now I may have tied your baker's twine, or I might not have. I think I used the crumb cake. And here's those cute little dies. So the hello was in here. This was from, I think, July, August, September. And then there'll be one for October, November, December, the last quarter. It had this pretty little oak leaf, and it had a strawberry. I think in July, our kit was full of adorable strawberries. But there's also an acorn top. Aren't they clever? So I cut out from like bronze or copper foil or brushed metal foil. I cut out the acorn top, and then the bottom is just out of basic beige, which is the background color for this paper. So you have a cute little acorn with 2 pieces, and that's where that little twine's going to go. So I'm going to put a little glue on the top of that acorn, and then I'm going to put that cute little acorn. Oh, wow, that went wildly wrong. Okay. The cool thing about liquid glue is it gives you a second to move stuff. The awkward thing about liquid glue is it gives you a moment for stuff to like move around before it. Wow, it's being very weird tonight. All right, I'm holding that for like 10 seconds. I'm going to bring out my silicone mat, which glue will roll right off of, and I'm going to let that, I'm going to use a glue dot to put my little bow. If you need to tie a bow, take a minute to do that. This one in mine fell out already tied. Might have been the first one I did where I needed to measure how much twine I needed to cut off for each kit. So just kind of figure out, I put this down further than I thought I was gonna, so it barely fits. I might put this acorn way over here. Okay, then we have a little staff of wheat. This is from the die set that comes, the Amber Autumn die set, which I know is in here somewhere and I am not finding. Darn it, I have the Gathering Moments. Okay. Reaching really far. I made a card with the ladies. No, it's not Amber Autumn. It's got to be in the Gathering Moments. Okay, yes. So that's where I took the bigger oak leaf, and there's another die that must be over on my die cutting table that cut this wheat out. And I think I may have even put a little glue dot on the back of yours, just because I had glue dots sitting on my desk, and we're going to kind of use a glue dot to anchor that down. Then we're going to use some of the glue dots to put on these little oak leaves. Kind of sprinkle them around. You should have 2 or 3 of them in your kit. So maybe 1 there. And then we have these gold ones. I'll probably tuck one of those down here by my acorn. Looks like I'm going to need to pop up this acorn now that it's drying a little bit. So I'm going to put a couple, so that's it. It's as high as my brown circle. So I'm going to put that like about there. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this pretty leaf, cut out of some copper foil, and I'm going to tuck that in down here. And then we have these pretty, now I said you could choose to have a Cajun Craze blends available if you had one or if you wanted. This was optional on the supply list, and I will show you what I did with that. So these are retired, but they were a part of a big suite last year, and I had some of these woven golden leaves left over, and they come in 2 sizes. And so I included those because in my in-person class, we could make a card that had, oh my goodness, what did I do with that card? Here it is. We had done a, oof, oy, oy, oy. I thought Do Not Disturb would make sure no calls got through. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. My camera's doing weird things. We had done some ink to stamp and then stamp these and die cut them. But since you don't have these stamps in the to-go class, I included these gold woven leaves. And I'm going to grab my Cajun Craze blend. I think I'm going to use the dark one. And what I did with this, you can either use them as is, or you can color these. So I'm just taking my Cajun Craze, the brush end, and this one seems kind of dry. Let me see if my light one, yeah, my light one is much juicier. I am in the process of replacing a bunch of my blends because I've had them since they started coming out with them, and that's been years. So this is just a little added step. I like to kind of show some techniques and step some stuff up. And as with like the rhinestones, some of the plain pearls, clear or white embellishments, you can use the alcohol-based blends to color things. So there we go. Now they kind of blend in a little better. And so I'm going to take a couple of these glue dots and adhere this. I'm going to tuck this back behind some of the other elements to just add a little more dimension. All right, and I've got another little leaf here. So my leaves may slightly differ from the ones in your kit, because I thought I had more of the Cajun ones in most of the kits. And mine only has one. Let's see what's in this one. Alrighty. I have two in this one and then one foil one. So that hopefully is what you have. And I'm going to steal one more from this one and maybe add that down here. Okay, so we have two of these that are pretty much identical. Probably for the sake of time, I'm going to move that glue dot to the back. Because I want to put this kind of on the brown there. There. So what do you guys think? I got one more of these to tuck in. Maybe I'll put that back here. And then we've just got a fun fall collage. And then on the inside, you can use some of your leaf stamps. Let's see. I always like to decorate the inside too. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this. Now it's just a great thinking of you, just drop somebody a note card, but it also can be used for a Thanksgiving card if you like to send those. So I am going to pull out, I brought, none of the sets said Happy Thanksgiving this year or last year. So it's a good thing I hang on to a few of mine. So there's a nice Happy Thanksgiving in either the Pleasant Pheasants, and I like this too, wishing you health, happiness, and the riches of God's bounty during this season and always with Happy Thanksgiving. Or we just had the Happy Thanksgiving with the pheasant, the painted pheasant. So I am probably going to pull out maybe this oak leaf and the acorn, and the Happy Thanksgiving and just jazz up the inside of the card quick. Oops, that's not what I thought it was. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So I will use my Cajun Craze. Keep it simple, you know, for an inside. And then maybe I'll do the pecan for the little acorn. These are those distinctive stamps that are super detailed. And then we will add the Happy Thanksgiving or hello. Just looking at some of the other expressing heartfelt gratitude. Hello, your friendship means the world to me. All right. Actually, instead of making this a Happy Thanksgiving card, I'm going to go with the Gathering Moments. Your friendship means the world to me. So, changing my mind midstream here. I'm allowed, right? Let's do that. And since I don't think I've used this stamp from the set yet, I am going to clean it. Condition it a little bit. All right, and then see how I do Stampin' Upside Down. There, notice I did not adhere it down before I stamped it in case it was a terrible disaster. I like to be able to like flip it over and try again on the back side, so I'm just not a risk taker, you know. I've botched it too many times. I've learned to be a little careful. All right. Cleaning my stamps and putting them away. You might be making your second card while I'm doing this. Who knows? But just sharing some options there with the current set and some retired sets that I like to hang on to. How many of you guys do that? Do you hang on to some of your... Oh, look at now I find. I knew I had 2 of those cute little leaves in there. I'll just pop that back in the kit that I borrowed it from. Close up my ink pad so my pretty pink sweatshirt doesn't land in it, and then we will grab our Stampin' Seal, flip this over, and get this adhered down. Isn't that sweet? Hello, your friendship means the world to me. And ready to send a beautiful autumn card. I think I know somebody that tuned in tonight that I might share this with. All right, so we've got 2 of those. I hope you enjoy making them and sending them to a friend. Here is the one I made earlier. Now this one, I had put the basic beige cardstock on the adhesive foam sheets and cut it out, but I don't know, I didn't think it added that much, and it was kind of a hassle cutting it out to run it through like a couple times because it's a little thicker. So I didn't have the patience to do that for all the cards that went in the mail. But you could sneak some really skinny little pieces of dimensionals behind the letters if you wanted to try that for your second card. And here is the one that I made ahead of time where I could stamp it. I did not end up liking the acorn as much with the pecan pie and some of the DSP. Oh, did I put these pretty little striped? I don't know if I included those in your kit or not. Let me know in the comments. But the Autumn 12 suite did come with these streaked dots. They are super pretty. And they are number 165902. 165902. And you could, if you have those on hand, or if I did, I'm not sure I popped them in your kit because of all the foil that was on it, but that could add a little extra touch. This one, I did do that, and then I used the Autumn Wishes, which is pretty, and then I did have a extra piece of Designer Series paper left over, so I added that little bit to the inside instead of stamping the leaves. So here are some other cards I have made with similar design. This one I did not use a full front. I used an accent, and then I don't know if you can see that, but I used a retired embossing folder to give a little texture. And basically I used all the other same elements. So that's just a little different look with a partial panel of the DSP. And, oh boy. Here is another one that I made, very similar. And then the Autumn Wishes. This comes with a couple of images, the oak leaves and acorns, if you happen to have gotten that. And here's some different pattern of the DSP that comes in that set. So here are a few other, this one we did in person because we had to stamp the image and do some coloring. And then this is another one of the beautiful sets. The this is the Autumn, Amber Autumn, and it comes with a beautiful die set. This is the one that cuts out the pumpkins and the oak leaf here, and then it has these pretty sayings, and this is part of the Autumn 12 giant suite, and I used this die to make this pretty foil front, and it did come with 2 colors of twine if you got the whole mega suite. So I have a nice stack now of autumn cards, gratitude cards, friendship cards, Thanksgiving cards that I can send soon. Well, not too soon. I got a few of my Halloween cards in the mail, but not all the ones I wanted to, unfortunately. All right, let's move on to card number 2. I know Lisa is probably ready for bed. Lisa, the add-on dies, let me tell you what these ones are called. I think it's called Circle of Seasons. You can just search, do the search tab like anything else. Circle of Seasons, I think there's an S on it, and it is number 167277 from the 2025 third quarter paper pumpkin. So I know there is a new set now that is out for October, November, December, and it has Joy, and goes with the beautiful 2 Christmas kits that have been coming out. And then it'll also coordinate with the December kit, which is not a holiday theme. It's a really cool, looking forward to that one. I've seen a little preview description. So number 167277. I will write that in the comments. Number 167277. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for asking. And let's pull out the packs that have shaded spruce background. And oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I feel like I have to lift this up a little bit so you don't have to see my lap all the time. Yikes. I think part of it is I forgot to turn my camera sideways tonight. Oh, quite embarrassing. I'm sorry. I need like a professional setup because this is hardly working for me. And you can't turn it once you start. Oh, it's embarrassing. All right. Sorry that I'm futzing with this, but I'm just, it seems like so zoomed in. And it's a little awkward for me, a little uncomfortable. Okay. And it is mostly because I forgot to turn to horizontal. So this is a fun card. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I again had to alter it a little tiny bit because of cards to go and not being able to stamp, but it uses this beautiful Holly Jolly stamp set, which comes with a hybrid embossing folder. So it has an embossing folder, and then you can put this die inside of it, and it doesn't cut out all the holly leaves, it partially cuts them out, and it comes with two, I used these two nested rectangles also to cut for our sentiment, our center point. And it comes with this beautiful joy and a little sprig and a holly and a poinsettia and bells. So it comes with dies that cut out all the images on here. And then this very cool embossing folder where this will fit in here. And when you put your paper in, if I had done it this way, it would have cut the leaves, but not the centers, so that the leaves would pop up from the card. Like you could take your bone folder and curl them a little bit so that they were a little bit 3D. And I chose just to keep this like a very clean and simple card. And I did not use the cutout die, but I did run the card front through the pretty holly embossing folder. So this one is called Holly Jolly. It is a bundle, does not have pretty paper with it, but it gave me an opportunity to make a clean and simple card that's not centered around the designer series paper, which was an awesome opportunity for me. I like to do that. So I did use the embossing folder for you because you would not have had that on hand. And then in the card I made at my house, I did stamp the holly image and color it with the red berries and the spruce, shaded spruce leaves. Since you wouldn't have that and I can't send stamped images, I pulled out an old retired punch that has a bow and two holly leaves and berries. And so then I pulled out some retired flocked specialty paper for the berries, so they're actually fuzzy. and I pulled it together like that. So I punched out your holly leaves, and then I used my little take your pick tool, or no, maybe I used from the scoreboard. I used the little rounded tip, but there is one of those rounded tips in your take your pick tools. And I just gave it a little dimension in the middle, so it was like the leaf, you know, crease. And this other piece of white paper is for the inside. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to use our bone folder to crease our paper. And then we're going to go ahead and glue down this embossed piece. Again, I'm not using any twine or anything, so there's no reason to wait to glue that down. All right. Oh, Lisa, thank you. I am just feeling so comfy tonight. I was out chopping down daylilies and irises and planting some last minute bulbs that I was gifted. So, yeah, I took a shower and got all cleaned up, and I'm like, I am going to be super comfy. I'm wearing this pink sweatshirt for the first time. Now, I already put your little gem on, but this is a faceted snowflake. Lisa, I know you have those pretty pines snowflakes, and you might have these gems. They're gorgeous, and I wanted to keep this super clean and simple, so I just used the one on the J for joy. All right, so now I told you to have a Christmas. This does have a Merry Christmas, and in several different sizes. Have a, and you could do Merry Christmas or have a Holly and Jolly Christmas. I don't know. But I took the Christmas stamp and I stamped Christmas, and then it's going to say Christmas Joy because of that pretty little die. So I'm going to get out my Christmas stamp. And my shaded spruce stamp pad, which is in the pile here somewhere. I feel like my desk is getting really messy. Okay. And then the joy is just going to kind of be, so I'm going to do it as near to the top, and then the joy is going to kind of hang off a little bit. All right, so we've got Christmas centered. And then in my scrap paper, I'll stamp off as much ink as I can before I wash it on my little stamp and scrub. Otherwise, I'm washing my stamp and scrub all the time because I'm picking up glue instead, or ink instead of taking it off. All right, so we've got Christmas Joy. And we're going to take, I'm going to take my little fine tip glue or liquid glue and just be really careful not to put too much on it. And then we're going to put that right under the Christmas. And then I'm going to adhere this white rectangle, stitched rectangle to the center of the green one. And then I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I pulled out another pack of dimensionals and I got one of those. I know for a while people were complaining the backing doesn't come off of all of them. You got to be really careful. They were a little funky. This was ages ago, so I've probably had these for ever. But, you know, you never want to run short, so I always like stock up, especially when there's free shipping. Okay. Hopefully you are seeing this okay. It's just like, whew. I gotta find it somewhere besides Facebook Live to do these because it is not working for me these days. All right, so we're gonna take these little hollies. There's a big one and a small one. Twice. Okay, so there's 2 big ones and 2 small ones. So I am going to bring them all over here and build them, and then I'll attach them to my card. So you should have 6 little holly berries. Or if you don't want to mess with that and you have some like red rhinestones or something, maybe you could use those. All right, but I'm going to take a little dab of glue and put my other holly leaf on. A little dab of glue. Second holly leaf. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll try glue dots on the back. I know they're over here somewhere. There they are. Shoved them aside. Okay, I'm going to bring my glue dots back in and put one on the back of each of these because I feel like that's going to be a little less messy than glue. Okay, and then if I peel that off and I take my take your pick tool, I can put one there, one here, and then I'm going to put a couple on the back here because this is going to go on the corners. I don't know which 2 corners I want to put it on. Kind of depends on where your Christmas joy landed, I guess, or where your pretty embossing is. I think I'm going to try here. And then that last one, boy, that last one, I might even pop up. I'm going to cut a tiny piece. Sorry. Excuse my arm. Cut a tiny piece of a mini Stampin' Dimensional. Because I feel like it's going to not, I don't know, it just feels like I need to pop this one a little higher. There, because then it'll be a little higher, comes to the fore. All right, so glue dot, glue dot, place, place, turn it over, put a couple on the back or a little green glue. Actually, the glue's not green, just the bottle, right? Liquid glue. All right. Boop. And one more. I'm going to pop it up again. Why not? Is it just me, or does yours seem like your little holly situation got a little elevated there? Maybe it's just mine. Hopefully I'm not getting my head in the way here. All right, boink, there. It's like so simple. It's pretty, right? Christmas joy. If you did have some iridescent rhinestones or some red rhinestones or some more of these and you wanted to add them, but I purposely kept it pretty clean. I wanted it to be duplicatable, you know, if you're making a stack of Christmas cards. Speaking of which, I have pretty much finalized my plans for my November class. It's going to be Sunday, November 16th, and I'm going to do a Stamp-A-Stack so that you can make easily duplicatable cards that you can crank out a bunch and get ready for your holiday card sending. Okay, trying to get everything in its place again. I have this leftover cute little spooky, sweet, haunted house. Meant to get it on a treat bag. I did give my ladies that came to class last night a cute little iridescent treat bag from the Spooky Sweet with Halloween pretzels and some Halloween M&Ms and caramels. All right, I think I'm going to do this. May the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. I could do bright and happy Christmas wishes or wishing you and yours all the best. There's lots of options here. So I'm going to bring in my stamp pad again. This is the inside now. Guess this block will work. Okay, and then stamp off, stamp off, stamp off. Clean. All right, more dimensionals. All right, and then I'm gonna, since I have it, use that little, up here I guess, that little holly. Nope. Gotta make sure I stamp on the right side or it'd be a big green blob. All right. Maybe one down here too to balance, huh? And then, of course, gotta bring in the envelope. No naked envelopes, right? Maybe there. And a few here. Fun. Quick fun. Now we can glue it in. Yay. All right, now we know this envelope goes with this card because it coordinates so pretty. How we doing? We're halfway through. Okay. Lisa said, I do. I don't remember what I asked that you said you do. If you have this set. Do you have this set, Lisa? Oh, you and your jammies too. I love it. It's a sister thing. All right. I love that. It's just pretty. Oh, this, I was so lucky to get gifted. I had entered some cards in a little, not a contest, but in a group, and I was randomly selected to get to pick a bundle, and this is the one I picked. didn't have it. Trying to limit myself, not overbuy, and I was so grateful that I could get this. Thank you, Mary Fish. You're the best upline ever. Because I can't wait to make more cards with this and send them for Christmas cards. Maybe Lisa, when she comes. Oh, yep, that's already there. Okay, here's what it looks like with the stamp, with Stampin' Blends coloring it. Not sure if that looks, hopefully it's not too shiny, but yeah, it just gives it a little different look, but I can't send stamped images in the mail. So there we have it. Crank out a couple of those and send some holly jolly Christmas wishes to somebody you love. All right, we are on to our next card. Grabbing that, and the other cards that we made, so that at the end I can pull them all out. Okay. All my fall colors away. Isn't that a pretty color palette? I'm going to put these away. I did not use the red. Just all I need now is black and white and gold. All right. So here is not the card we're making, but an alternate card with this set. This is the traditional, the Modern Christmas. Modern Christmas Suite. And it comes with the Ornamental Christmas Bundle. This is an online exclusive, so you're not seeing it in the September to December catalog. Oh my gosh. Everything is backwards. Dang it. All right, Revelations. Anyway, wonderful set. Very modern, clean lines. There is a circle ornament. There is a ornament shaped die, a star, 2 different trees, ornament topper, different decorations. And so here is the one we made in person. Very simple. The beautiful specialty paper that comes with the Modern Christmas Suite. We did a little white embossing on black. And may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. Sounds familiar. That was from the Holly Jolly set. I also highly recommend the Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera pack. If this is, I haven't checked, excuse me, 166209. This has 6 pages of beautiful die-cut gold foil sayings, and they are very super thick, and that is because they are stickers. They are backed with adhesive, so all you have to do is peel and stick for gorgeous, oh, they're just so elegant. And so one lady was just not having luck with the embossing last night, and she just ended up picking a greeting out of here that worked for her card. We are going to do a slight variation on that. Ours is kind of fancy because it is a 3D card. 3D Funful. Here is the beautiful paper, Modern Christmas paper, and it's all got gold highlights. So I also need to work a lot more with this, and looking forward to creating some more things, but I will show you a few of the cards I have made so far. We're going to get right to our little packet. So, okay, a whole bunch of fun little gold stars fell out, and I'm going to tell you right now, you get to be creative on what to do with those, because the card that I was just showing you, We did glue a few of those. We sprinkled them around our card, and I didn't really do that because this is all gold, and so you can include them in the envelope, or you can use them on a different card, or you can figure out what to do with them. Maybe you want to use them on the inside or something. But for now, I am going to kind of brush them aside. They also are incredible for making shaker cards, and we'll talk a little bit more about that soon. Okay, so we have a white insert. We're going to design that in just a minute. You have a black cardstock ornament. That's going to be our base. You have 2 pieces of twine, an envelope, which we do not need right here right now. I'm getting my tuxedo Memento tuxedo black ink out. And then you have 2 ornaments cut out of the specialty paper, and you have a little strip for a sentiment that can go on the front. And I still have more stars. They're just everywhere, you know, glitter, shakers, sticking everywhere. All right. We're going to stamp this before we glue it down, so I'm going to move that for a minute. I'm going to pull in my bone folder and burnish my card. And this is a card that I ended up running through the die cutting machine. I placed the paper in the center, and then I used one of the stylish, no, I actually used the die that comes with this die set. All right, so I used this size circle because I knew it was the right size for the ornament that we're going to make. So it's a peekaboo card. The ornament's going to peek through the front. It's actually going to be adhered to the inside. So I used the circle that is in the die set. All right, so we can adhere this to the front. So there's my glue. This black and white paper with gold accents is just so classic, and it's one of those that my biggest problem is having to bury one side of it. It'd be a good one to make cards that you can see both sides of the DSP, which we have done in the past. All right, the biggest thing is going to be lining this up with the cutout. So let that guide you when you glue it down. Hopefully I lined it well for you. Then we are going to set that aside, and we're going to build our ornament. So this is our base. I even have a star. I can do nails. I can do fancy nails with these. All right, so what we need to do is fold these in half. So we're going to fold them in half carefully, or I could get I'm going to bring my bone folder back in, or I could get my scoring tool and line it up. There you are. But I'm just using my fingers. Okay, so that is going to go on one side. We're going to fold the other one. I guess I'll try this and see if I think it's easier or not. Line this up with the tip in the track, and then just lightly. Let's see if that makes it. Oh yeah, that does make it a little bit easier. All right, you might want to use your, although it doesn't seem like it's exactly down the middle, so I'm gonna try to move it over a little. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna glue these two together and then glue these two to the base. Okay, so I'm gonna get my liquid glue again and put that on one side. and squish them together. Now, I did not design this card. I totally cased this. And I wonder, oh, I usually write it on the back. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to look it up and put it in the comments later. I am sure I have either some pictures saved or a video saved somewhere. I cannot remember who it was, but I was like, that is beautiful. I'm not sure if I made any changes. I think I maybe made some variations on how I decorated it or what paper I used, but I know she used this paper for the ornament. Okay, now I think I'm going to snip right here because I want to put the ornament topper on. So I'm going to cut off that little part so that I can glue on this. Feel like glue, where's glue dots? I think glue dots are going to be the way to go. Because that glue did not dry very fast last time I tried it on the foil. All right, so I'm just going to put a few glue dots back here. There's a tiny ridge where I cut that off. It's not super flat, so that's why I'm putting several glue dots. Not even sure I put them in the right spot. Need to put them lower. All right. Thank you if you're hanging in there with me. I hope you are enjoying these cards. I hope you're excited about, I don't know how far you are in your holiday card making. I know Michelle, who was on, I'm not sure if she's still watching, but she challenges her group to make cards all year long, which I think is genius. All right, so this is going to be in here, but we do need to stamp the inside. And then before we glue this down, do not let me glue it down until we put this little piece of twine tucked behind it, because it's going to look like the ornament is hanging. And then this one is to tie a bow that's going to sit on the top of the ornament. And if you got super lucky, you might have a bow in your kit that was tied, but that's only if you're super lucky. You're probably going to need to tie your bow. It's going to be one of those things that just because I am on camera and it's late, I'm going to be all thumbs and have trouble tying it. Ooh, get in there. Dink. Okay. It's just a matter of pulling it tight enough without them slipping out. And I don't want the bow to be too big because then it's not going to fit through the little window here. So I'm going to make it on the smaller side and cut the extra tail off. And then I think I'm going to use a real glue dot because they are thicker. I'm going to pop that on a glue dot, pinch it together a little bit. Hey Lisa, do you know have you heard from Caroline at all about airline tickets? I wonder if Dawn had any luck today. All right, something kind of like that. Okay. All right, now we need to do a little stamping. So I am going to take my black and I'm going to get out my traditional labels set. This is a big double set that is on the cover of the catalog. And quite a few pages, but it has this beautiful, beautiful gold specialty paper with really pretty colors. Here's the Just For You that you're seeing here. And then it comes with a set of dies and then a whole nother set with greenery. So a double stamp set, and let's see how long it takes me to find it. I have to go here. Traditions of Christmas, and here are the 2 stamp sets and die sets. And it comes with this beautiful wreath embossing folder and these pretty ribbons and sparkly sequins. So gorgeous, gorgeous set. And that will be one of my focuses on my last class of the year, my November class. Anyway, we are going to use the traditional labels dies or stamps, and I am going to put Merry and Christmas. So the Christmas is going to go down here, and the Merry is going to go up here, and then my ornament's going to go right in between. So I'm just kind of eyeing that up and get my block out for the Merry. Ink it up with my black ink. And if Michelle is still on, I would love to know if we could talk her into going to Long Beach. I would so love to meet Michelle and craft together and hang together. Sweet lady, I would love, love, love to meet up. We were so close when I was in New Hampshire, but then I think you were gone. One of these days. All right, I hope I inked this enough. Merry Christmas. Oh, I might have to go over it with black marker because it's a little watery looking. I really wish they would come back out with a classic. I love my Memento black ink, especially for stamping things with Stampin' Blends, but sometimes it's just not as crisp and solid as that classic black ink was that they could never get to dry on the paper. Ugh. Lament. I have to confess that's why this stamp is a little black, because I think I did pull out my old classic. I still have it right in the drawer here, my archival basic black. Sometimes it's just the best. I bought, when I heard they were discontinuing it, I bought a couple of ink refills so that it would hopefully never ever run out. All right, ta-da! So now I can glue this down and glue this down. Once again, I'm going to use the liquid glue because I want to make sure I can center it in this window. Be able to move it around a little bit. How's that? Woo, I want my card to open and close. Merry Christmas. And then we have this little strip here. And let's see, what could we do on there? Could put 'Tis the Season. Merry Christmas. How about if we do that? Or, oh, I think I'm going to do this one from the Ornamental Christmas, since we're using the Modern Christmas Suite. Wishing you peace and joy. And then this Merry Christmas didn't quite work. That's why I brought the other one in, because I needed to split them up so that the ornament was the center point. I also love these trees, and our next two cards are going to use those. All right, so I'm going to bring in my H block, which is long enough for this. And you could use gold. I think I said you could have gold embossing ready. Your gold powder and heat gun. I'm going to go with black on white. And then maybe for the second card, do heat embossing. It's just so noisy to do live, but it's definitely an option. Okay, and what I did with that is I popped it up. I want it to pop up on the card front here. See, there's one of those. It didn't rip all the way off. They stick too much to the paper. All right, Lisa, I cannot believe you're still awake and hanging in there with me. Did you have an extra coffee today? I cannot wait to hang. So ready. So ready. All right, get my arm all up in the camera. I'm sorry. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whoop, angle cut that, pop that on. I like the black and white contrasting because there is so much gold. But to show you the one I made ahead of time, I did use gold embossing. So, and I think I made my bow a little too big because it sneaks inside of the card. I like how this one's laying a little bit better. All right, clean up, clean up. Oh, shoot. Did I glue that card down? I told you not to let me do that. Yay! I'm glad I got to start a little earlier. Okay, so we didn't do this. This way you have two cards, so you can, try again. Because I was supposed to tape this to the back of the card and tuck it under here. And there's no way I'm getting that under there. I was supposed to make it look like it was hanging, which is an extra little cute thing, but I guess nobody's going to know it was supposed to look like that, right? Right. All right. So there is our 3D Peekaboo Modern Christmas card. And we have just two more. And the last two do have a little variation. And I will tell you why. I'm going to set these aside and bring out our last two cards. Okay. So, last two cards. One of them uses, you'll notice I have an empty circle here because I used the Marion Bright for one of your cards, and then I cut with the 1 3/4 inch punch. This was an online exclusive, April of 2024. I cut gold foil to go behind it to add a little extra, and I think I punched a 1.5 inch, so 1.5 and 1 3/4, for you to put your own sentiment on the second one, because you have 2 cards, and I only had enough of this pretty saying for one of your 2 cards. And then this comes with a black and white gold baker's twine, part of the Modern Christmas suite. And so I included enough ribbon for you to make a bow, and I thought this kind of looked like a little ornament and a Christmas tree. And then it does have a star in the die set. It's a modern star. It's kind of funky, odd shaped. And I just used one of my retired star punches to make your stars. But if you made more, if you have or you got this suite, you could use the star that's in there. And here is my really botched attempt to make a shaker card. So I stamped the tree that's in the stamp set behind, and I didn't get it centered. And so, yeah, and then I didn't get my gold foil on the edges straight either. So yeah, this is like a prototype, and then I need to improve on it, but I used the same pretty embossing folder that comes with it. The traditional Wreath 3D folder that is in the suite is number 165874. And so I added some texture to the card front and popped one tree up. And then for the other card, I gave you a piece of DSP. I cut the other one out. And this could be made into a shaker card. So we're going to make 2 versions. And here we go. Got some card inserts. Hopefully I put one in your kit. All right. So you should have 2 slightly different packages. Oh, and here is another card I made with the Modern Christmas set so far. So I've made a number of them using some of the pretty dies, and the reason this one popped into my head is those circles that I cut out of this card. I have a lot of gold circles of this pretty gold paper, and then the black here. So here is one way that you could use that extra black circle. So this might be in next month's cards to go, because I've got those extra pieces for you, and that's a pretty straightforward card you could do a stack of pretty quick. All right, so which one should we do first? Let's do the one that has a die cut Christmas tree. So the base is thick basic white, and it's kind of nice and heavy, gives you a good card base. I did a black background, and notice I used this piece to cut out your ornament from the other card we did. So smart when I remember to do that, isn't it? Because it's just going to get buried. Nobody will know, and it definitely saves on cardstock. Everything is getting so expensive, no matter what you're doing, whether it's shopping at the grocery store or buying your craft supplies. So I like to be frugal, sensible, smart crafter. All right, then we are going to put this all together. There's no reason not to glue this down, because we don't have any, we don't have to tuck any string under that I'm going to forget about. My glue's getting kind of goopy, so I'm just trying to unstick it. I got a big wad of gunk. All right, there we go. And then we can pop up our tree on some dimensionals. Yeah, I started at 6 just for you, Lise, because I know it gets late. Maggie's not with us this month. And she had a little one she was always trying to get to bed and feed, so then I tried to push it a little later, but just gotta kind of do what works for the most. Okay, and then I'm going to, this is gonna go down here. I'll probably pop that up also. Putting it like right up to the edge. And the star, I think, could probably go on with a glue dot. Right here. And then we're going to pull in that ornamental Christmas set again. And let's see what's going to fit. 'Tis the season is not going to fit. We can do Be Jolly. Or let's see, I'm looking for my Holly Jolly set. Holly and Jolly. Wishing you and yours all the best. That might fit. All right, so find a Merry Christmas or a Holly Jolly or wishing you and yours the best. Or if you happen to have the ephemera pack, well, I could use this and put my bow on that. What do you think about that? Let's give it a try. We'll do both. We'll do both. Okay. For my traditions of Christmas to put my Mary away. Okay. This with the black. Let's see what we like better. Should have washed this because I've never used it. All wishing you and yours all the best. Oof. I inked that pad not too long ago. That was kind of juicy. Right in the middle. Oof. All right. I don't want to touch that because the is like really. All right. Anybody have a vote? Do you like the wishing you and yours all the best or the joy? Which one should I do? I have another card to make, so I can use it on the other one. Anybody have an opinion? Let's see. I'm going to let this dry a little bit more, so I think I'm going to pop up the joy. Oh, I don't want to pop it up because it's a sticker, so I might as well use it, right? Take that adhesive backing off. Put that right there. And then there's a little tear in that, but I'm not worried because I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to put a glue dot there because that's where my bow is going to go. Right? All right. So I'm going to take the twine that's included, that pretty black and gold twine, tie a bow, mess with it till it looks like I want. Trim it. And then trim it some more. And put that right there. Try to tuck in that gooey glue dot. Ta-da! All right, then of course we have to put something pretty on the inside. So how about, let's do this pretty Christmas tree. And it says joy on the outside. Let's do a Merry Christmas with the Merry Christmas that comes in the Ornamental Christmas with the Modern Christmas set. Okay. Oof. Don't even have the label on this. This is going to be a first. So I'm going to clean it. And get my memento out. Remember, I've used this tree. All right, we're going to do the Merry Christmas. Here. Pray it's straight. Not too bad. Okay. And where's my pretty tree? Okay. And that one didn't come out the best, but I think it's good enough. And then I'm going to bring this in, the envelope. And I'm going to put that tree there too. So it's matchy-matchy. There we go. Christmas joy. Now our second, put the cover on my ink. Our second card is slightly different. So grab your other one. This is our last card. We're almost done. Okay. This one has the tree die cut out of the front of the embossed white. Okay, so we're gonna, oh, come on. We're going to burnish our card front again. We're gonna glue down our mat. So excited to have a start on my holiday cards. It seems like way too early, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get them done and in the mail. And I'm always doing it at the very last minute. And this year we are going to be in Colombia for 2 weeks over the holidays, so I've got to get them out early. early, so I have time to pack and enjoy family time. All right, so this one, the designer series paper can go behind, and if you wanted to, what I did is take dimensionals and stick them right along, and I popped this piece up. Hey, thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you liked them. Takes me a while to get inspired and figure out what I'm going to do. That's the hardest thing about having classes. But I enjoy it so much. You know, it gives me a chance to be creative, and of course I get inspired by a lot of other card makers out there, like the talented Michelle Quinault. And lots of pals and just lots of very successful people online, but I do like to make them my own or come up with my own ideas. So hopefully I did a good job. All right, now the hardest thing is gonna be, yeah, there we go. So it gives a little depth here. And then we can pop up our circle again. I'm going to cut the edges of these. And then we are done with our last card. Woohoo! And we have a good start on our Christmas card making. These dimensionals. I hope I don't have more than one pack of these that don't come off the sheet very well, because it's kind of annoying. Oy. Very annoying. All right. Put this gold one down here. And then this one has the Marion Bright sticker from the ephemera pack. So that makes it easy. Super, super easy. I think I should order a couple more packs of these for bulk Christmas card making. What do you think, Lise? Yay! Oh, good. You have the ephemera pack? Oh, great. Great, great, great. All right. I didn't get that on like 100% straight, but hey, it's a homemade card. I guess I should stick my star on, and then if I find a glue dot, there we go. Right up here. And ta-da! And then we just need to tie our little bow, which again, I think it just looks like a bauble, like a cute little ornament. Ooh. Come on. Ugh, tying bows can be exhausting. But they add so much, right? Kind of makes it, especially with this pretty gold and black ribbon. All right, I'm gonna get the big roll again. If I can find them, here they are. Of glue dots. And pop that right near the top. Mess with it a little bit. Oh, what do you think? Now, I just saw these stars still from that one card, and kind of toying with the idea of just using a little glue and putting a few of those on the card. What do you think? Yay or nay? I don't know. It's late. We can be done. It's a thought, but so not necessary. So, all right, let's bring our cards back out. See what we accomplished tonight. This recording will be available for 30 days. I will try to remember very shortly to download it after it ends. And then the thing is, I need to also remember to upload it to my YouTube and share a link so that it stays around longer. But, you know, all these little things you got to remember to do. Get rid of all of my little backings. Oh, we forgot to use this. But, hey, I'll be making other cards. All right, so here we go. We've got our 2 different styles of modern Christmas tree cards with the pretty greetings for you ephemera pack. Here is another one I had done ahead of time. We have our 2 Holly Jolly Holly shaded spruce cards. And then we have our 2 Autumn Toile pretty cards. And not to forget our other modern Christmas cards, the 3D Wishing You Peace and Joy 3D ornaments. So again, here's some other cards I've made with this set. And I'm off to a good start on Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and haven't made any Hanukkah cards yet. I don't have too many friends I send those to, but I sure hope you enjoyed our cards and our time together. And I hope that you'll join me next month on November 16th. I can see if I can turn this up and say goodnight. Hey, thank you so much. And have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Kathy Schreckenthaler of Kathy's Creative Impressions, making and creating lasting paper hugs, signing off.